Nehemiah chapter 5. The building of the temple is continuing, but there is problems. And this time the problems are from the inside. Chapter 5 verse 1. And after there was a great cry of the people. In NIV it says, now the men and their wives raised great outcry, listen, against their fellow Jewish people. The poor was complaining how their rich relatives was causing them difficulty by loaning them money, taking interest, and they are becoming powerless. Few verses, verse 2. Now there where they said, we, our sons and daughters are many, therefore we take up corn that we may eat and live. Some also said, there is mortgage on our land, vineyards, houses. Verse 4. They were also said, we borrowed money from king's tribute and upon our land and vineyard. Verse 5. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren. And the last portion says, neither is it our power to redeem it, because it's gone out of our hands, and other men have our lands and vineyards. We are powerless, because our relatives who are supposed to redeem us, help us, is taking a lot of interest, that we are in trouble. That's verse 1 to 5. Verse 6 onwards, this is beautifully how Nehemiah is solving it. Nehemiah stops. What does he stop? He stops the whole system of this misuse. Verse 6 it says, and I was very angry when I heard their cry and their words. Because of the misuse, he felt very sad. Next verse it says, I consulted with myself. I pondered them on my mind. He thought, he didn't react immediately. This is something which we have to learn. A man who had a 4 months prayer backup did not immediately react. He thought through it. And then he calls everybody, speaks to them. Verse 9 it says, and I said, it is not good that you do. You ought not to walk. Are you not supposed to walk in the fear of God? Because you see what has happened to your enemies. Let us leave off this usury, that's interest. Verse 10. Verse 11 he says, restore, I pray. Let's change. Verse 12 they respond. Then they said, we will restore. They listened. One thing which is so shocking, what he says, how does people agree to it so easily? It is because of the prayer and the intimacy that Nehemiah had. And they said they should do according to this promise. Verse 13, Nehemiah talks about the consequences if you don't meet it. That's up to verse 13. Verse 14 to 19, we see the testimony of Nehemiah. It is very beautiful. Who was Nehemiah? We know the one who came to build the walls and the gates. He was in the Persian kingdom, used mightily there, and the cupbearer, and very important person in that place. But in Judah, who was he? It says, moreover, from the 12th year of the king, I was appointed the governor of the land of Judah. For 12 years he was the governor. But governor has some facilities that he can take, but he never took it because people were in difficulty. He never took it. And the reason is very clear. Verse 15 it says, but out of the reverence of God, I did not act like that, like other people. In KJV it says, so did not I, because of the fear of God. Verse 17 it says, moreover there were on my table 115 Jews who were sitting, and he empowered all of them. That's a beautiful story that we read in Nehemiah 5. Read Nehemiah 5. Be blessed.